We have one more public input from Matua Hakiaka, and he will address the committee in regard to the same issue. Thank you.
Mihi nui tēnei kua rono kua mate tērā I roto a Ngāti Pātua, ana tō rātou rangatira, e noho mai ana ai anari te kōrero kua naru atu tērā, hari atu rā, naru atu rā. Just want to say thank you everyone, thank you for this time and greetings to all of you. I'm also conscious that Ngāti Pātua have recently lost their CEO, and thank you for that time of silence this morning to all of us, and I also, as an individual and as Māori, I want to acknowledge that as well. So on that note, I just want to say kia koutou, koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Kia ora. Have a seat, please. Kia ora. My name is Matua, but more commonly known as Matt Hakiaha. Have been a resident of Te Aratu Peninsula, commonly known to us as TAP North, for the last 43 years. Have been a resident of West Auckland for 43 years. So currently live there with my family, which consists of myself, my daughter, my son-in-law, my grandson, and also, as of Saturday, my new granddaughter. So Te Aratu Park is very much our, Phil, ngā mihi kia koe. Just for those who know, Phil and I have a long history going back in terms of his ministerial days and MP days. And when I then worked for the Department of Justice, Ministry of Justice, Child, Youth and Family, DSW, I'll stop there. So Phil, ngā mihi nui and good to see you. Live in Te Atatu, and the park that came up on the scene, the park is very much our park where I take my grandchildren, my grandson. So that's very much home for us. And I just heard the question about that little garden part that's going to be turned into a car park. Absolutely redundant to us as community people. When we go there and play in the park, we often sit down as families, as mum, dads, granddads, grandmothers, and we say, what's the purpose of this? Yeah, it'd be good if it was used for something else. Yeah, so I just wanted to add that. In terms of this car park, for those, if you can picture Te Aratu North divided in half. Te Aratu Road, left-hand side people, right-hand side residents. And for us on the right-hand side residents, Gunner Drive is our main entry, whereby those that come on the left-hand side of Te Aratu, they tend to use the Te Aratu Road driveway. There are two entries that come into that car park from Te Aratu Road. But those of us that are on the right-hand side, Gunner Drive. And we are held up often because of the trucks going in, reversing, backing out, going in, and we can wait up to 20 minutes and the queue can go and build up along Gunner Drive, both at the entry of Gunner Drive from Te Aratu Road, and for those of us, the entry at the other side of Gunner Drive. So a long wait, especially if you're a mum or a dad or a grandparent and you're taking your children to the local kindies. So just past the Gunner Drive on the left-hand side, we're going out of Te Aratu, there's Discovery Play Centre, Kindy, so a lot of families go there. I take my grandson to Whitsupa, which is opposite Te Aratu Intermediate, and so again, that build-up of traffic, because of trucks, entry and egress, is quite a strain on a lot of families waiting, especially if you're a mum or a dad. Especially if you're a grandparent and you're taking your grandchildren to their kindies and their play schools and their schools. So that becomes quite hazardous to us in terms of waiting and having to, and one of the things it teaches you is patience. And people seem to run out of patience because of this whole build-up of this traffic. So those are just some of our concerns as local residents. When some of the local residents heard I was coming here, they said, tell them it's annoying, tell them it's frustrating, tell them they don't have to live in it. We do. And we have been, and I've seen, well, before it was Countdown, it was Food Town, it was ShopRite, so I've seen the major changes that's gone on around that place. Once upon a time, we had a very big car park, then the petrol station came in, Subway came in, and now we've got the current premises of the Point, and so we've seen that car park size shrink, but we've also now seen it as a truck delivery area. So the common sense for a lot of us in Te Aratu, and trust me, I sit in the park, we spend time, we spend a lot of time, Anzac, for example, Anzac Day, all of us locals turn up. Matariki coming up, all of us locals turn up to the morning service, and then so we catch up and we talk. And we say, look, this is annoying and this is frustrating. When are they going to sort out this driveway? So when I heard about the proposed plans and saw the proposed plans, we cheered. We said, wonderful. Then we won't be hindered in terms of our entry, in terms of being on time with our families. Yeah, because Te Aratu is about families. Te Aratu is about spending time with our families and making sure our families are safe. And this proposal, the last one that's come up, has been a good proposal as we see it. So I've seen the proposal, I've sat down and talked with community people in the park over fish and chips and said, hey, this is good. We like this. Yeah.
Play the video.
Yes, please. Welcome to our world, people. So in terms of us as local residents, it can go from 9 o'clock through to 3 o'clock. And those are the crucial times of dropping off children for local kindies, primary schools, etc. And Te Aratu is growing, so in terms of population, it's growing. Example, I've just sold my home in Te Aratu, and our neighbour sold our home. We sold it as a joint venture, and there were 8 people on the land, and now there's going to be 22 apartments, and it'll go to 44 people. From 8 people to 44 people. So that's where Te Aratu is getting its growth. So a bigger countdown is needed, and that's just one example of one property or 2 properties. And this was just all area. So the better we have the new proposal approved would be wonderful for us as locals. So you can see all the cars behind there building up. Well, you can't see now because of the truck. And on the opposite side, you can see cars building up for us who live there. So this part of the road behind the truck, so you can see the traffic. Thank you, that's all I wanted to say.
Kia ora, thank you. So questions, I have Councillor Henderson, Councillor Watson.
Kia ora matua, thanks for coming in. Always good to hear from a fellow Te Aratu resident. I'm on the south side, but I always take my kids down to the village green, so yeah, I'm sure I've seen you there as well. The purpose, I'll just correct you on one thing. The purpose of the planting there is actually to shield the car park from the band rotunda, the playground and the beautiful village green. So I think plenty of people would say it actually does have a purpose. But my question is this. That video there of what's happening currently, I'm not sure if you were here for the previous presentation, but...
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you can answer, but I'll just ask it just in case. So option 2, the top corner here has a dedicated supermarket loading area. So if that was a dedicated area, safe to assume that cars won't be driving through that area or won't be so disrupted. Is that true?
Sorry. Say that again?
Layout.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure this out. Yeah.
I think you're asking a question that the local resident may not know.
Yeah.
Right.
With respect.
Do you want Leo to answer it?
Do you want...
Would that be okay if I
Okay,
can ask
Leo, quickly.
Yeah. Sorry, Chair. Thank
not
you.
appropriate, really.
Could you ask the question again, just in terms of... Yeah.
Shane, turn your mic on, please.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out option 2 because I think it's just important for the committee to understand the options. Would cars be going through in option 2 or is that a dedicated turning area?
At option 2's, no, cars are going through there.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Chair.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. Councillor Watson.
Thanks, Matt. Just a question on the mechanics of the very helpful video clip there. So each time one of these big trucks get in, and I assume the trucks have got bigger over the years too, so you're now dealing with bigger rigs than was perhaps the case 5 or 10 years ago. So staff from Countdown then have to be utilised as kind of like traffic safety officers? Is that what happens at each time? Yeah.
From my knowledge, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. So we often say, are they car park attendants or are they meant to be working in the shop?
Yeah, okay, so that's one obvious question that occurs.
Do they have a job license? Is that part of their job description? So those are things we ask. Because we know them, because we know them. And we say, bro, are you a car park attendant or do you work in the shop?
Yeah. So just a follow-up question then in terms of, you said you'd been round and, talked to people in the community, get a bit of a sense of how people are feeling. Has there been any sort of approach to the local board in terms of conveying that community feeling or expectation or desire for, a better setup than currently the case?
Number one, not that I'm aware of. And my first time in terms of talking about this with the wider community really has been through Tanya and Helen. Yeah. And also when they knew I was coming here, they said, please let our voices know. I said, you've got a lot of voices here. There's almost 700 of you. Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Walker.
Pretty quick question. It's just around the movement of these 18-wheelers. You mentioned earlier you've got 3 to 5 a day now. I'm making the assumption that this project lifts the activity in the supermarket and probably will require more trucks. Is that likely to be the case? In which case there's even more
Hold on, mate.
need?
With the public, this is about a local resident. You're bringing back the...
Well, it could be a question for Leo.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm in your hands, Madam Chair.
Quickly, please. It's not appropriate, councillor, but I've done it once. I can't do it.
My experience is the truck numbers will say reasonably similar because the truck still has to deliver, just delivers more goods.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Councillor Cooper.
Thank you. Kia ora matua.
Go on, Linda.
I mean, I know the area, so you're coming from, as you say, the other side. Do people, I mean, is there any reason why you just can't go along Gunner and Pringle and round up beach and come round the front way and then you won't ever have to worry about those trucks?
It's really, for many of us, about ease and access.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was asking though, because if it's difficult going there, why wouldn't you just go around the back of Pringle and
But
go around
because
the
it's
front?
equally difficult that way as well in terms of traffic congestion from all entries onto the main road, Te Aratu.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially at that roundabout in the town centre. That's where you get the backlog
Yeah,
as well.
I guess that's right, because that is a very congested route.
Exactly.
And
So many of us take the Gunner
what's
ride.
your thoughts about coming more trucks coming out onto Te Aratu Road then?
So you're
if
going
this
with the flow
proposal
of
went
traffic.
ahead?
So for many of us, you're going into that flow of traffic as opposed to going against it and waiting for parking, reversing, forwarding, parking, reversing and forwarding. Whereby in the Te Aratu Road exit, you're just going in with the flow of traffic.
Kia ora.
Yep.
Kia ora. Thank you. Councillor Hills. Then last question, Councillor Mulholland.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Well done.
I got from the first presentation that the community hadn't been consulted on this, but you're saying the community had been consulted. So I'm just a bit confused on that, just as a decision maker. You said the community doesn't want that garden and things like that, but the community hasn't been consulted on this proposal.
Well, no, what I said was that the people that I'd spoken to just said we didn't know that, but thank you for telling us. I'm not speaking on the whole of Te Aratu. I'm just speaking about those of us that meet in the local community. Yeah.
Okay, so has the countdown had designs up and things?
I can't answer that, sorry.
He's a resident. He doesn't know that. Councillor, and I'm not going to go there anymore. All right, that's it. Councillor
Morena,
Mulholland.
thanks. Morena Matua, and I wanted to...
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Thank you for sharing. That's really all I've got to say. Mine was a comment. I noted that to the chair. It's absolutely fabulous to see someone in the community who lives in the community, talks to the community, to share with us a view and opinion. So kia ora,
Thank you.
and thank you for being here.
Kia ora, councillor. And on that note, I take it you will move a vote of thanks, and I will second. So thank you very much, Matua. I know it's a way to come in here, and I appreciate that you've taken a real extra effort to come in and talk to us today. So kia ora and thank you. I've got a mover and a seconder for a vote of thanks. All those in favour say aye. Against, carried. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Ngā mihi kia koutou.
Kia ora. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have no extraordinary items, so we now move to item 8, which is a